Welcome to the channel and welcome to Mission 2 in the Nexus Psi solo campaign. For this mission we're allowed 150 points of our 300 point army to select a strike team. The story so far: a band of Forge Fathers and Brockers have been investigating a Deadzone. A scouting party got overrun by zombies and they've suddenly realised that actually the entire Deadzone is infested. Having survived an ambush, they've reported back to the Force leader, and the Force leader has decided that he personally is going to lead an attempt to try and find some comms equipment to request an evacuation. To that end, our strike team is composed of the Huskarl. He's going to take some extra ammo, and we're also taking the Storm Rage veteran armed with his Hailstorm assault cannon with a hollow sight, 3 Steel Warriors, one of whom is a medipack, and he's also taking the Brocker specialist who survived the previous mission to act as a guide. Let's move on to the mission. This is the setting for the second mission. We start off with a deployment zone along this edge, and the aim of the mission is we need to find the working comms equipment. Now there are 4 towers, or 4 elevated areas. Each one is marked with a victory point token. Three of them are 1-point victory markers and one of them is a 3-point victory marker. The one with the 3-point victory marker is the tower with the working comms equipment. I should point out I've got no idea which one is which. I turn them face down, I shuffle them around, so I don't know which one is the 3 and which ones are the 1s. Now in the previous game I had intended to just do it the easy way, which is take out 4 zombies before leaving the deployment zone, and the difficult version is killing 8 before you leave the deployment zone. In the end I killed 9 before leaving the deployment zone, so I think I may as well do the rest of the campaign on hard mode as well. So what I need to do is find the tower with the 3-point objective and then hold it for 2 turns instead of just 1 turn in order to get the SOS message out. So that's what I'm going to do. Hold it for 2 turns rather than 1 turn. Again, apologies for using GW models as zombies, but think of it this way for all you Mantic lovers out there, they are at least the bad guys. So I'm going to move on to the first turn, but a quick note on deployment. I was umming and ahhing about whether to split them into 2 teams and have one go up this side and the other team go up that side. But I thought, no, there's safety in numbers, so I'm going to keep them fairly close together rather than splitting them up and going different directions. We'll wait and see whether or not that turns out to be a good tactic or not. As with the previous mission, we'll keep track of the noise dice along here, and here's my command dice for the first turn. Ideally, I want some extra activations and some shoots so that we can try and clear away the zombies that are closest to us. Okay, well there's some extra activations and some splats. Now the splat for the Huskarl means we can attempt to heal damage, so hopefully I won't be needing those just yet, so I will re-roll these 2 splats. Oh, and even more extra activations. Okay, well that could be just as useful. Right, let's see what we do. I think we'll start off down here where this Steel Warrior is going to clean shot this zombie. Blue and grey dice for my Forge Fathers. Gooey yellow and pink dice for the gooey yellow and pink zombies. Steel Warriors shoot on 4s and he gets 3 dice base plus 2 for having a clear shot. And everything hits. 3 dice saving on 6s, none of them, so that's 1 dead zombie. And before we add a noise dice to that or do anything else, I remove the dead zombie and the Steel Warrior's taken 1 step forwards. And I think he's just going to stay there to cover this alleyway because there are more zombies who will attempt to move forwards. So we'll then have a clearer line of sight without having to worry about stairs being in the way. And I'm now going to spend an extra command dice which will prevent us having to add a noise dice and go into the next activation. Annoyingly, I placed that zombie and those red barrels in such a way that this guy can't get a clear shot. I think I'll try and take the shot anyway, because even if he doesn't kill the zombie, he will at least pin it, because the Hailstorm assault cannon does have the suppression keyword. Storm Rage veterans also hit on 4s, and this guy's got 3 dice base plus 1 for having the holosight. And that's only 1 success. Zombie saving on 6s, and that's 1 success, but at least that zombie is pinned. So the zombie is pinned, and the Storm Rage veteran hopped up from that cube up into this one. And then we'll spend another command dice, again, to stop a noise dice being added, and also to enable us to activate another model. This Steel Warrior has moved up from this cube, and is going to take a shot at the head of that zombie. 3 dice base, plus 1 for shooting from an elevated position, hit on 4s. And that's 3 successes. Zombie saving on 6s. And that's 3 successes with an 8, so he's perfectly fine. Oh, no. Do need to roll the 8. Nope, he's not perfectly fine, because 4 successes to 3, that's a dead zombie. And the other Steel Warrior has also moved up from this cube up to here, and he's going to take a shot at that zombie down there. Same again, 4 dice hitting on 4s, and that's only 1 success. 3 dice saving on 6s, and that's 1 success, so this time that zombie is okay. That's where I could have done with an extra shoot dice, because that's the last zombie that's close to my lines. I can still do 1 more activation, so that's either going to be the Brocker Specialist or the Huskarl. Using my last extra activation die, the Huskarl has moved over 1 cube and is going to thread the needle through those cracks in the wall at the zombie that didn't die. And I really want this guy dead, so I'm using the Huskarl's ammo, which will add an extra dice to the shoot pool. So 4 dice hitting on 3s. And that's 2 successes with an 8. 3 successes. Zombie saving on 6s. And that's 1 success with an 8. 2 successes, so that zombie does finally die. And with no more skipping activations able to be done, we do finally add a die to the noise dice, and we'll move all zombies within 4 cubes of that last activation where the gunshot rang out. And there was only 1 zombie within 4 cubes, and that was the one over here, and it's moved 1 cube over here. Now we've got my Brocker Specialist left to activate, and he's simply going to sprint up the stairs onto this gantry, heading up towards this tower. There he is, and now any zombies with line of sight to the Brocker will move 1 cube closer to him. I should say that this zombie will remain pinned until the zombies have their activations. At the moment these are reactions, not activations. Some of the zombies that moved definitely had line of sight, so this one definitely had line of sight to the Brocker Specialist. Some of the others were a bit more tenuous. This one could just about draw line of sight from the tip of its horn up to the model. Others, like this one and this one, parts of the model could see through various cracks in the walls, and I worked on the basis that if I was playing as a human player in control of the zombies, I would say that model could see it, so that seems to be the fair way to do it, so that's what I've done. So that's the end of all my activations, and now we do the activations for the zombies and roll to see if any more zombies spawn in. Right, zombies have activated, and I've tried to keep it as realistic as possible. They move towards the nearest enemy, and where there's multiple options, I've tried to make it as logical as possible. So this one was equidistant to these guys and this one, and I've worked on the basis that it could probably see these ones, but it couldn't see the Huskarl. These ones have advanced over here. This one simply got up, and all the others have just simply moved a space closer to the deployment zone. So now we'll roll the noise dice. Now there's still 11 zombies on the board, So there's going to need to be a fair amount of 8s rolled here for any more zombies to spawn in, but you never know. And there's 3 successes with 1 8. No, so no more zombies get spawned in at least. On to turn 2, replenish the noise dice, and here's my command dice for turn 2. And again, ideally we want some extra activations and shoots, or some moves. Okay, well there's a shoot at least. I think I'll re-roll all 3 of these. And that's not a whole lot better. In fact, that's probably worse because I've lost all the extra dice now. But yeah, no extra activations. I'm going to really have to carefully think about what I do in what order. After some very careful thought, I've moved the Storm Rage Veteran with his Hailstorm Assault Cannon up from that ledge up onto here. This gives him a really good commanding view of the battleground, and obviously gives him plenty of elevation. And he's now going to clear shot down at this closest zombie, and assuming that works, we'll then use the extra shoot dice to probably take a shot at this one that he failed to kill last turn. 3 dice base, plus 2 for clear shot, plus 1 for elevation, and plus 1 for the holosight. Hitting on 4s. And that's 4 successes. Zombies save on 6s. That's 2 successes with an 8. 2 successes, so he does take out that first zombie on the ledge. So that zombie has gone. I did take a look to see if we could clear shot that zombie, but I don't think, because of that piece of rebar, we can quite get a proper clear shot, so we will stick with plan A and take a shot down at that zombie. Using the extra shoot die. 3 dice base, 2 for clear shot, 1 for elevation, 1 for holosight. Hitting on 4s, there's an 8. 5 successes. Zombie saving on 6s. That's 3 successes with an 8. And another 8. This zombie just doesn't want to die. And another 8. So that zombie does indeed survive. Again. But again, it is pinned. Again. So once again, that Storm Rage Veteran has failed to kill the zombie, but has pinned it with suppressing fire. All zombies within 1 cube of the noise have moved 1 cube closer to the source of the gunshots, and that's had the benefit of bringing these 2 into this building away from this Steel Warrior down here. They were in this alleyway, but they've been drawn into this building through that doorway, drawn by the source of the noise. And we've added a dice to the noise dice pile, so let's think about my next activation. These 2 zombies down here, because they're both in the same cube, they're a tempting target for my Brocker Specialist with his magma rifle, but I think I need to keep my eye on the objective of the mission, so instead of shooting at them, he's going to hop up 1 cube onto there and another cube onto there, heading for this objective up here. But he won't quite make it. He'll only get as far as there because we don't have any extra move dice. And when he's up there, he should be out of sight of all the zombies, so no zombies should react to him. So yes, I've positioned him in such a way that he is out of line of sight of any zombies, so that will mean no zombies react to this particular activation. When it comes to these 2 here, I need to be careful in what order I activate them and choose my targets carefully. They do have some very tempting clear shots, so this one in particular could clear shot that zombie or one of these 2 down here, but that would then draw these zombies up onto this platform and put them horribly close. So I think we're going to have to use them to try and take out these closer ones first. What we'll do is we'll have this Steel Warrior shoot at that zombie on the basis that the reaction will cause that zombie to come up into this cube with the damaged ceiling / floor. which will hopefully then give this Steel Warrior a clear shot into that cube. That's what we'll do then. This Steel Warrior shooting down at that zombie. And of course the second part of that plan kind of relies on this shot actually working. 3 dice base plus 1 for elevation, and 4s. That's pretty good so far. 3 hits with an 8. 4 hits. Zombie saving on 6s. No successes, so that's 1 dead zombie. And after the shoot, the Steel Warrior did squeeze past his colleague over here, so that again he can be moving closer up onto this wall. So we'll now do the reactions with the zombies, and the zombies will react towards this cube because this is where the shoot action occurred, and that's what's attracting them. That's all zombies within 4 cubes reacted, and now this Steel Warrior will take a clear shot at this zombie who's crawled up onto this ledge. 3 dice base plus 2 for a clear shot, hitting on 4s. 1 hit. Zombie saving on 6s. And it does indeed save. And I don't have another shoot dice. Now I was always going to do this anyway, but it now makes it look a little bit cowardly. So the one that just took the shot is going to hop up onto this ledge next to the Storm Rage veteran, which will means this zombie that survived the shot will then move 1 cube over into this one, like this. So it now looks like this guy abandoned this guy to take on an attack from this zombie. So we now need to resolve that attack. But I'll also resolve these reactions on these 3 zombies who have moved into this cube attracted by the gunshot before I forget. The zombie will get 3 dice base plus 1 for moving in, hitting on 5s. And that's 2 hits. Steel Warrior will fight back 3 dice, needing 5s. And that's 2 8s. And another 8, that will do it, that will kill the zombie. Now keeping in mind that these guys will react to gunfire and they're very close to my position and they also get to activate when I've finished everything, I want to try and keep them there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the Huskarl and the Steel Warrior and do it in a similar manner to the Brocker. So try and make sure they finish their moves out of line of sight so that these guys don't react. Starting with the Steel Warrior, he's sprinted forward 2 spaces and there's now a nice solid wall between him and any zombies, so the zombies won't react to that activation. And the Huskarl has simply made a move activation up onto here. Now that almost feels like a bit of a waste of an activation because he's pretty good at shooting, but again he's just too close, or rather these zombies are just too close for me to be comfortable doing that. So that's the end of all my activations. So we'll do the noise test and activate all of the current zombies. Zombies have activated. This ledge here is only a half cube, so we can only fit 2 zombies on there, so the other one is let's move forward into the cube below it. Others have simply moved 1 cube closer to the nearest enemy model. So now we'll do the noise test. All those command dice left over, I just simply didn't use or couldn't use or didn't want to use. Right, there's currently 8 zombies on the board. So again, we'll need some 8s for any zombies to spawn in. That's 3 successes with an 8. So 4 successes, so no more zombies will spawn in. Moving on to turn 3. Turn 3 command dice. Still really want some extra activations or moves or shoots. I don't want splats and I don't want fights. Okay. So move and shoot. Extra dice and a splat. I'll re-roll these 2. An extra move. Okay. And a splat. Right, let's go and think about my first activation. At first I thought the obvious first activation would be for the Storm Rage veteran with the assault cannon shooting down into this cube to try and kill off some of these. There won't be any clear shots because this one is slightly obscured by this one, but it would at least mean, even if it didn't die, that both of these would be suppressed. But then I thought, the Broca Specialist does have them in range. They're exactly 3 cubes away from him, so he could shoot them with his magma rifle, and again, even if it doesn't kill them, because he's over here, it will at least draw them back this way a bit. So I think that's what we'll do. And the shooter's a short action, so he'll still have another short action to hop up onto the roof and see what this objective token is. As discussed in the last video, the magma rifle is an it burns weapon, so we don't get any extra dice for elevation or for clear shot or anything like that. It's just a flat 3 dice. And these will hit on 4s because of his improved shoot stat due to the experience he gained in the last mission. That's not so bad. See, that would have only been 1 success with an 8 previously, but now it's 2 successes with an 8. 3 successes. First zombie. And this will be the one closest to the Hailstorm Assault Cannon. Saving on 6s. And that's 2 successes with an 8. No, so the first zombie dies. And then the other one on the same platform also dies. These 2 zombies get showered in hot magma and burnt to a cinder. And this guy's quite happy there's a bit of wall between him and that cube. And after taking that shot, the Broca Specialist will hop up onto this platform. Like I say, I've got no idea which token is which, so let's flip over this one. And it is the 3. Okay, well that's lucky. I promise you I did not know that was the 3, but I've now got to hold it for 2 turns, seeing as I'm doing it as the hard mission. Right, so that's the end of the Broca Specialist's activation, and we'll now do the reactions and add a noise dice. And the zombies have all headed up towards the Broca Specialist, or where he took the shot from, in reaction to the noise of the magma rifle. The Storm Rage Veteran has some very tempting targets. There's a cube over there with 2 zombies in it, and that would be a clear shot downwards. So I think that would be the first target, and again, even if he doesn't kill them, it will at least pin them in place. So let's do that as the first of his short actions. The target of the shoot will be the one closest into that corner nook, so this will be 3 dice base plus 2 for a clear shot, plus 1 for elevation, plus 1 for a holosight, hit on 4s. Okay, so that's 4 successes. And the zombie saves on 6s. That's 1 success, so the first zombie gets killed and the second one is pinned. So this zombie in the corner dies, and this one will be pinned in place through the suppression fire, like that. And then the Storm Rage Veteran has hopped down onto this level, and we're going to use an extra shoot action, and he'll take a clear shot at this zombie. First of all, take away the extra shoot die, and then 3 dice base, plus 2 for clear shot, plus 1 for elevation, plus 1 for holosight. That's 5 successes with an 8. 5 successes. The zombie saves on 6s. Nope, that's another dead zombie. And we'll now do the reactions from all zombies within 4 cubes of the Storm Rage Veteran here. The zombies being drawn back and forth in this tug of war between the noise sources onto my next activation. This Steel Warrior will move into this cube and then take a clear shot down into that zombie, like this. Again, the intention being to distract the zombies and get them moving in loads of different directions so they don't keep converging on a single firing point. 3 dice base, plus 1 for elevation, plus 2 for clear shot. 6 shots, hitting on 4s. That's pretty good. 4 hits with 2 8s. 5 hits. Saving on 6s. That's 2 saves, so that's another dead zombie. And after that reaction, The zombies have moved towards the latest source of noise, and now this steel warrior is going to hop up onto this platform and take a clear shot down at that zombie. And he's in position, ready to take the shot. Another 6 dice hitting on 4s. 5 successes. Zombie saving on 6s. Another dead zombie. Now the Huskarl is going to use an extra move dice to move 1 space onto this landing, and then use a normal move to move onto that bit of gantry there, where he now has a clear shot down onto that zombie. So we've used that extra move die. Now I realise this might be making unnecessary noise, which is only going to add dice to the noise pile and increase the chances of even more zombies spawning in. But it is a zombie apocalypse game when all said and done, and who doesn't like shooting zombies? Right, 3 dice base, plus 1 for being elevated, plus 2 for clear shot. Hitting on 3s. And that's what you get for being too cocky. That's only 2 successes. Zombie surviving on 6s. Nope, that's another dead zombie. The only zombie left on the board is pinned, so there's no reactions. Now, I've got this steel warrior down here who hasn't activated yet, and I think we can be fairly certain there's going to be zombies spawning in at the end of this turn, and he's on one of the board edges. So I think he's going to dart through that doorway, so he is a little bit further away from any potential zombie spawning zones. So he's dashed through this doorway and making his way up the stairs, and will pay this extra move die to move the steel warrior the rest of the way up the stairs. There. And at the end of the turn, the only zombie left to be activated is this one, and he will simply stand up thusly. Now we'll go and do the noise test. Right, let's get this out of the way. There should be a fair few zombies being spawned in this turn, because there's only 1 zombie left on the board. So all of these dice, 4 ups for activations. And that's 5 successes. We'll take 1 away because there's 1 zombie currently on the board, so 4 more will spawn in. We roll a D8, and on a 1-2 it'll be this edge, on a 3-4 far edge, 5-6 this one, 7-8 nearest. So first zombie. That's a 5, so that will be on this edge, and then we go clockwise. So 1 will be that corner, 8 will be this corner, 8. So that's down in this corner. Next zombie will spawn in along this edge. Again, that's 1. That's 8. So that will come in just here. Next zombie. So again, that will be along this edge. On cube 1. And the last zombie, again along this edge, on cube 3. That's there. Right, so now we're in a little bit of, I won't say bother, because there are only 4 of them, plus that one over there. But when we've held this objective for the rest of this turn, we then need to get off the board out of our deployment zone. So come back along this edge and off the board. So yeah, so more clearing up to do of zombies. Let's go and roll some command dice. Command dice, and I don't think I'm terribly precious about what I get this time. Extra activations and extra shoots would be nice, but under the circumstances, I'd be happy with almost anything. Oh, there we go. Some moves and some shoots. I think I'll re-roll one of the moves in the fight. Okay, that's not a whole lot better, but like I say, not too fussy at this stage. My first activation, I think the Storm Rage veteran will hop up onto this ledge and shoot down at this zombie. And there he is, ready to take the shot. 3 dice base, plus 1 for elevation, plus 2 for clear shot, plus 1 for holosight. Hit on 4s. 5 successes, saving on 6s. 1 success, that's 1 dead zombie. And then we'll use a shoot. And we'll now take a clear shot down into that cube, using that nearest zombie as the target. Same as before, 3 dice base, plus 2 for clear shot, plus 1 for height, plus 1 for holosight. Hit on 4s. There's an 8. 4 successes, saving on 6s. 1 is down and the other one is pinned by the suppressing fire. And the zombies have made their 1 cube reaction moves. This one's getting a little bit close for comfort. So on to my next activation. I can't really get anyone in a position where they can clear shot that zombie. So the best I can do really is this guy taking a partial shot down at him from elevation past the Storm Rage veteran. 3 dice base plus 1 for elevation, and that's 2 hits. Saving on 6s, that's 3 saves, so that zombie survives. Realised I've got to put the noise dice in for the Storm Rage veteran's shot, and I've also just put the other dice in for that Steel Warrior's shot just now. The zombies have reacted and moved. Now the zombies are getting a bit close for comfort. So there's a couple of options for taking them out, but I think the best one is actually for the Brocker Specialist to shoot down at this one. He's just in range, but that will then at least draw that one back away from hopping up onto these cubes here, because obviously the Huskarl is dangerously close, he's only 1 cube away, so if this one takes a shot at either this one or this one, then they're going to get all the closer. So yeah, the Brocker Specialist up here will shoot down at this zombie. As discussed, this is just a flat 3 dice test, hitting on 4s. That's 2 successes. Zombie saves on 6s. And that's a dead zombie. This zombie reacted to the noise of the magma rifle shot and has moved 1 cube over, and now the Huskarl is going to shoot down at it. Now, because there's a solid wall behind him, I can't actually tell if it's a clear shot or not. I don't know if those red barrels are in the way, so benefit of the doubt, I'm going to assume it's not a clear shot. 3 dice base plus 1 for elevation, but like I say, I'm going to assume it's not a clear shot. And we're hitting on 3s. And that's 2 successes. Zombie saves on 6s. That's 1 success, which is an 8. No, just 1 success, so that's a dead zombie. And having taken the shot, which was a short action, the Huskarl then took another short action of a move and moved into that square. And then we used an extra move, command dice, to move into this square. Now there's no more zombies left on the board, so what we'll do is this Steel Warrior will just follow his leader and sprint 1, 2 into there, and then an extra move dice into the same cube as the Huskarl. I've got about this one down here, so all of my guys have now activated, so this one will now activate and simply stand up. And now we'll do the noise test. Onto the noise test. Again, probably a fair few zombies activating this time. There's 1 still on the board. That's 5 successes with an 8. 6 successes. There's 1 on the board, so we take 1 away. So that's 5 more zombies are going to spawn in. Okay, I'm going to roll the zombie spawning in dice all together to see which sides they come in on. Okay. And the light is really bad. So we've got 3 coming in over the back, because 3s and 4s are the back edge, and these 2 1s will be along this side edge. Okay, the 2 1s. So one will come in on this corner, and one will come in on cube 4, and around the back edge we'll get one on cube number 2, which is actually going to be up here. You're supposed to put them on the lowest level that you can. One on cube 6, which would be down here, and one on cube 7, which is there. Having been in control of the objective at the end of 2 turns, we now need to make our way back off the board out of our deployment zone. And we were quite lucky with the way those zombies spawned in, because there's not too many to worry about. Let's go and roll some command dice. Command dice. And now I could probably do with some extra moves. So we get extra activation, an extra shoot, that'll probably be handy. Yeah, let's roll these 2 extra dice. Okay, another extra shoot and a fight. Let's start with this Brocker. He's going to move down to that level and then down into this cube. And having sent the distress signal, he is moving back towards his comrades, but that zombie in that far corner can see him, so that will make it react. And that zombie has moved 1 cube closer. The Huskarl is going to leap over the wall onto this bit of platform and should then get a clear shot down at that zombie. Yep, that's a clear shot. 3 dice base, 1 for elevation, 2 for clear shot, 6 dice hitting on 3s. And there's 2 8s there. Okay, so out of 6 shots he gets 8 hits. And zombie saves on 6s. Yep, I think that was a foregone conclusion. So what we'll now do is spend a shoot die. And the Huskarl will now have a clear shot at that zombie down there. Another 6 dice hit on 3s. Quite as good as last time. But nevertheless, still 5 hits, saving on 6s. That's 1 success, so another dead zombie. The only zombie close enough to react was this one. He was in this cube, and it's a shorter route round to here than it is to go back in and around through the building. The Steel Warrior jumped down from this ledge. No zombies can see him, so there's no reactions to that. Steel Warrior is going to move into this cube and then down into this cube. And that zombie through there does have line of sight to his new position. So now this Steel Warrior, the one with the medikit, is going to clear shot that zombie that just moved. 3 dice base, plus 2 for clear shot, plus 1 for elevation, hit on 4s. Saving on 6s. And that's another dead zombie. And we're going to pay an extra activation dice to interrupt the noise generation. And all we did was move the Storm Rage veteran with the assault cannon down from that ledge. No zombies can see his final position, so that will be the end of the turn. The zombies have activated and moved 1 cube closer, and this one scrabbled up the side of the steps onto this balcony, attracted towards the Brocker Specialist. Let's go and spawn some zombies, or rather, see if we need to. 4 dice, there's still 3 zombies on the board. That's only 3 successes, so no more zombies get spawned in. Let's roll the command dice. Okay, we definitely want more move dice and also extra activations, I think. So Oops, that wasn't a roll, that was a drop. Okay, so a couple of extra moves, no extra activations though. Okay, something a little bit gamey, but is acceptable in the rules. The Brocker Engineer can sprint one into there. Now you can move diagonally between cubes, and bearing in mind this might be half a platform, but the cube goes along here, and this cube is here, so this is technically filled in for the purposes of being a cube, so he can move diagonally from that cube into this one. Like I say, it's a bit gamey, but it is acceptable in the movement rules. So sprint into there, and that zombie can see his final position in the cube, so it will react and take a move closer towards the Brocker. So it will mindlessly take a step forwards and then drop down into that cube, into that alley. We're going to do some sprinting now to get some of these guys off the board. So this one with the medikit is going to sprint down into this cube and then off. There he is. And then the guy next to him is going to do exactly the same thing. So that's 2 off. Now these won't trigger any reactions because they're now off the board, so no zombies can see them because they're not there anymore. And we'll then we had a bit of a scenery malfunction on this steel warrior. As I moved this model, he fell off, so he's going to be the next one that sprints off. And there he is. Now the Huskarl, being the brave leader that he is, he's not going to leave the field of battle until he's certain that all of his warriors can make it off safely with him. So he's not going to activate yet. The guy with the Hailstorm autocannon is going to make a move into this cube and then shoot up at this zombie. That won't be a clear shot because any shots that go upwards by their very nature are not going to be clear shots because you can't see all of the base. And we'll use the extra dice for it, may as well. So this will be 3 dice base, plus 1 for Holosight, plus 1 for the command die. And that is 2 successes, but they are at least 8s. 3 successes. And that's 3 saves with an 8, so that zombie's going to survive, but he will at least be pinned. And then we will use an extra move die to get the Storm Rage veteran off the board. That zombie was just outside the 4 cube range for making a reaction. This zombie is pinned. And I've just noticed that that zombie in there would have been able to see the Brocker Specialist at the end of his move, so we do need to move him out. And there he is, but again he's still too far away to have been in earshot of that shot from the Storm Rage veteran in that cube. So that's the end of the turn. We'll do the activations. This zombie stood up. This zombie's come around the corner from the alley. And that one's taken a step closer. If I'd have thought about the order of the activations a bit better, I would have been able to get that Brocker one place closer to being off. But hey ho. So noise test, there's 3 zombies on the board. That's 2 successes with an 8. 3 successes, so no more zombies are going to get spawned in. Command dice for what is probably the last turn. I can't re-roll these because more than half the strike team has got off the board, but I do still get the additional 1 for having the Huskarl on the board. And so we get an extra activation and an extra move, and that should be enough for me to clear the guys off. I should have made it clear that at the end of the last turn this guy did nothing, so that causes no reactions with the zombies. So yeah, moving on to the start of my last turn. For our first activation, the Brocker Specialist will sprint down the wall, 1, 2, into the cube, and then make a final move off the board with an extra command die, and then we will use the extra activation die, and the Huskarl will follow his men to safety. And with that, our strike team makes its way to safety. Now don't get me wrong, I do feel a little bit embarrassed that the first objective I went for was the one I needed. I think things might have gone a little bit differently if I'd had to search around for more objectives to see which one was the right one. All I can do is promise you on my honour that I genuinely had no idea which one was the correct one. However, it does seem a bit thematic that the one that was the right one is the one with the radar, the radio antenna on it. So that's quite nice. But yeah, I promise you I had no idea which was the right one. In hindsight, I'm also wishing that instead of this guy with the Hailstorm Assault Cannon, when I was choosing the initial army list for the campaign, I'm beginning to wish I'd taken this guy instead with the Magma Cannon, because that will then attack everything in the cube, whereas this simply takes one out at most and then pins the others, whereas this has got a chance of killing them all. So yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but it's not as good as foresight. So there we go. Let's move on to the post-game. Okay, in the post-game sequence, we'll start by returning items to the stores. We didn't use the medikit. We did use the holocyte, but that's a permanent item, so that can be used again. It's a reusable item. And skipping ahead to the exploration phase, we found an abandoned APC, and in the abandoned APC were 2 lots of armour-piercing ammo, so they can be added to our stores as well. Resolving casualties, there's no casualties to resolve, everybody survived intact. For experience, everybody gains 1 experience point each for completing the mission, and everybody killed at least 1 enemy model, so everybody gains 2 experience points. The Brocker Specialist, I've given him the commendation for this mission because he did make his way up that tower pretty much all on his lonesome, and even while he was up there radioing the distress call out, he was also diverting the attention of the zombies, drawing them backwards and forwards, and also helping to save his comrades, taking out some enemies in the process. So I think he deserves the commendation, and that will put him up another rank. Now with that, everybody in this strike team is going to be given an increase in their shoot stat. So that will mean the Huskarl is now shooting on 2s, the 3 Steel Warriors over here will all be shooting on 3s now, and that Storm Rage Veteran will also be shooting on 3s, and this guy who was shooting on 4s is now also shooting on 3s. So everybody's getting well and truly buffed up with experience. That's the end of this mission. I look forward to you joining me in the 3rd mission. Please do so. Thank you for watching, and God bless, and of course, stay in, stay safe.